Hi, Mom Talk. Mom Talk. Okay, so this week's topic is judgment. Now, I gotta say, before I became a mom, I was a pretty judgmental person. I was living in Toronto, Canada, and I was stressed out, and I was a lot of things, but I was very judgmental. And in the last couple of years, since I first moved to Guatemala and then Mexico, I've become a lot less judgmental. And also, I think having a baby just made me realize that, like, I don't know if it's like, maybe I just don't have any more time to be judgmental. Like, I don't think I'm a better person. But for whatever reason, like now, when I see a mom doing something, I'm just like, meh, that's where she's at today. Oh, I don't get offended very easily, that's for sure. I don't have this thing where it's like, you didn't use the right words. Like, I go with intention. But I do notice that I just judge less. And it got me thinking, like, maybe it's because, like, moms are so judged. Are you gonna have a meltdown right now? Yeah, maybe, yeah. So it got me thinking, like, maybe it's because moms are just so judged. So, like, I stopped judging because I'm getting enough of it, right? So I asked some of my mom friends to tell me their judgments, like their funniest one. And I'm gonna put mine forward. The funniest judgment that I face, and I get a lot because I'm living in Latin America, is a lot of times people will say, ask me where my daughter is from because, you know, she has brown eyes and brown hair. Like, she's Latina, it's obvious. And I say, oh, well, you know, she was born here in Mexico. And they say, well, is the father Mexican? And I say, oh, she doesn't have a dad. Then they always want to know, like, how am I doing it without a man? And I'm always really appreciative. And I try to be very graceful, but I want to laugh and be like, what do you mean I'm doing it without a man? Like, what do you mean? They don't have this thing here. Like in Canada, when I say like, oh, I'm a single parent, they just leave it there. Or if I say I'm an only parent, like, you know, I'm doing this by myself. Like, she just has a biological father. She doesn't have a dad. You know, people leave it there because there's so many different types of families. And we've been conditioned not to ask. But down here, they're not. So a lot of times they'll say, oh, what happened? Like, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have another husband? Are you gonna marry a Mexican? Like, you know, how are you living without a dad, without a man in your life? Girl, how do you get by? And it's like, I don't know, man. I guess somehow I make it work. Without further ado, because somebody's also fussy, I'm gonna turn it over to my friends who are also moms for them to tell you their funniest judgments. If you have a story about judgments you've received for, I don't know, being young, being overweight, whatever, like, you know, not being married, being a single mom, traveling, having adopted kids, having kids that are a different race than you, like, whatever, Luna would really like for you to leave that in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe, share it, and comment. I answer all the comments. So if you need a friend, it's me. And Luna, when she's in a good mood. Yeah. Thank you.
So I'm a 34-year-old single mom, and I date younger men in their early 20s, mid-20s, not really by choice, kind of, you know, when you vibe, you vibe. And I get judged a lot by that. And I find it hilarious because younger men are more energetic to help look after their kids. They've got amazing libido in bed, which is great for women in their, you know, after 30. That's when we hit our peak, ladies. They're more open-minded. They're more pure. They're not going to try and control you. They love that you're quite wise. They love that you've been, you know, killing it as a single mom. You're strong, you're independent. It's fantastic. But it's a judgment that I get all the time, and I find it funny. I love it, and I encourage it.
Hi, I'm Laura from Watching Ivy Grow. I think for me, the biggest mom judgment I faced or continue to face is my age, or misconceptions about my age, because I look a lot younger than I actually am. People always stop and ask me if my 2-year-old is my sister or make comments about it. And I used to try and throw my age into conversation or clear it up, but now I just take it as a compliment that I don't look mid-30s, and I am.
I'm here talking mom shapes today as I feed my child whole grapes in the back seat out of my visibility. No, but honestly, the one that happens to me most frequently on the daily is out on the street, taking up too much space. People hate it. They see the mom caravan coming and they already start with the sighs and the eye rolls, and then they come up close and they happen to see how talented my skateboarding son is, or how cute my toddling daughter is, or how fluffy my dog is, and maybe a smile will creep upon their faces. Hopefully that's the case, because we're just out here spreading love, building community, teaching about street safety and nurturing a sense of exploration. And we kind of think everywhere between the front door, yours, and the curb out onto the street is fair game. If you don't like it, you know, move aside, because you're 1, maybe 2, we're like 2 to 4, possibly more. High five. We're out here doing a good job, okay? Peace.
Hey there, what up? My name's Demi. You can check me out at Demi LaBelle on social media. And the most bullshit thing that I hear on a regular basis are comments like, "Aw, is that your little brother?" Or people just walk up to me looking completely confused because I do look young. So they look at me with this like sad pity look, or make the assumption that he's not my child. And when I do tell them that he is my child, I always get a look of astonishment, like, "Oh, are you old enough to have a child?" Well, obviously I'm old enough to have a child if I have a child. Stupid ass people.
Hello, I'm Emily from Shine Alive, and I have recently moved to Lisbon in Portugal with my 3-year-old daughter Sienna. And being a single travel mum, I often get comments about once she hits school age, I won't be able to travel anymore. I think that I perhaps give the impression that I plan on dittering across the globe for the foreseeable future, but we've actually come to Lisbon because I want to create a good base and foundation here for doing trips further afield, but I would like her to have that stability in her childhood. Yes, I understand for people that stay at home and don't choose to travel with their children, I understand that it must look a little bit crazy. But we're having a great time here, and I really value having the opportunity to do these things with my daughter at this age, to kind of trial it out and see where we get to. Maybe it won't work and we do have to go back, but I have learned that you can't take anything for granted, nothing's permanent, and that would be the case whether we travelled or we didn't travel.